You're welcome back. In the last video, I explained how to point a plot on a graph and how to read a point from a graph. So now, there is a continuation of our coordinate geometry video. So if you missed the first video, you might have to watch the first video. Don't worry, I'll drop the link in the description. Now, we will be talking about choosing numbers on a graph, and it is called scale. When we draw a graph, we don't just write random numbers. Each space on a graph must mean the same amount. You don't just write 1, 3, then you jump to 7. No. The difference between two numbers, the difference between the space between the graph must be the same. There must be the same space. So the pattern is called the scale. Let's think of a ruler. On a ruler, every small line means the same distance. A ruler, a tape rule, what else can we think of? Every small line means the same distance. It must be equal. So a graph works the same way. Now, let's take a look at simple examples. Let's look at some examples of how to choose numbers, how to choose a scale on a graph. It is called a scale when choosing numbers on the graph. Now, the first thing, which is the smallest space we can have, is 1. Okay, we can have half also, depending. So if the space is counting by 1, then we are moving 1 step. And if the space is counting by 2, that means we are moving 2 steps. And this is the easiest scale, and we use it when numbers are small. If you are dealing with numbers from 0 to 5 or 0 to 10, when the number we are dealing with is small, then we can use a scale of 1 or maybe 2. So the number you're dealing with will determine the scale you will be choosing. Now, if you look at this graph now, you will see that the difference between all the numbers is 1. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same here. What we have on the x-axis is the same thing as what we have on the y-axis here. So the scale here is 1, is in ratio 1. So each space is 1 unit. We can also decide to count by 5. Maybe we are dealing with numbers that are a little big. Then that way we will be having 5 here. Then if we have 5 here, what is the next thing we'll be having here? If you are counting in 10 and by 5. So the next one will be 10, and the next one will be 15, the next one will be 20. Now, let's say for the y-axis, we want to count by 7 because of the numbers we are having. Then that means this place, since this place is 0, the next one will be 7. Then what will be the next one? That will be 14, and then we'll be having 21, then 28, 35, and so on. So that is how to choose scale. You must make sure that there is equal amount. There are equal amounts between all the numbers. You don't say this is 0 now. You don't say 7 here. You don't say 5 here, and then come here to say 7, and then come here to say something else. We must have the space must be equal. Now, but what if the numbers are big? Like I explained, if the numbers are small, we can use 1, 2, 3. If the numbers are big, we can use 2. In fact, you can use 100. If you are dealing with numbers in hundreds, you can use 100 as your unit. You can use 1,000 as your unit, depending on the number you are dealing with. Now, let's talk about how do we choose the right scale. Before you choose a scale, for you to know the scale that you will be choosing, you have to choose the right scale. You have to ask yourself, what is the biggest value I need to show? From your maybe your table or your ordered pairs, whatever data you are using, you have to ask yourself, what is the largest value that I need to show? Then once you know the largest value you need to show, you will now ask yourself again, will it fit if I count by 1? If it doesn't fit, if it will not fit when you count by 1, then you can increase it to 2. If it still won't fit when you count by 2, you can use 5, 10, 100, or whatever. You can use 20, you can use 50, depending on the biggest number in your data. That's what will determine the scale, the right scale for you to choose. For example, let's look at this now. You know that a clock counts by 5. we have 12 1. A clock counts by 5. When you want to say the time now, if for this time now you say this is 5, this is 10, this is 15. So a clock counts by 1. And even when we are talking about money, money also comes in fives, tens, and 20s. So we choose a scale that makes things clear and easy to read. Now imagine that we want to choose 1 2 3 for the scale of this clock now, and we start writing. When we have 12 here, we now write 1 here, 2 here. This clock would really look so messy. So that is why you need to know the largest number, and you need to be able to, for you to be able to choose. And please, I need you to know that many students lose marks because they assume each space is one. So always check your scale first. Whenever you are dealing with a graph, don't just assume that the scale is one. Whenever you want to read a point from a graph, always check the scale before you read. You will understand it better when we solve practical questions. Now, take a look at these activities. The first one says, you want to graph the number of books read each week. The highest number is 12 books. Which scale would you choose for the y-axis? So, which scale will you choose for the y-axis if your highest number is 12? Now, the second one says, a graph shows money saved over time. The total amount saved is $100. Which scale makes the graph clear and neat for $100? So you choose from the option. The third one, a graph shows the time spent exercising from 0 to 120 minutes. Which scale should you use? And then we have the fourth one, a student uses this scale on the y-axis. The question now says, the data values go from 0 to 12. Is this a good scale choice? For this data, we have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then the student then chose a data value that goes from 0 to 12. Is this a good scale choice? Let me know in the comments. Drop your the answer to all these 4 questions. Drop your answers in the comments. Now, let's take a look at some tips for test when you're writing your test. The first tip is that you must check the numbers on the axis. Check the numbers on the axis. Then make sure each space is equal. And also, if you are to read a point from a graph, don't assume that each space is 1. Don't assume. Instead of assuming that each space is 1, make sure you check to be sure of the numbers on the graph so that you can know the scale that was used. Now, the common mistakes that students make is that the first one is that you switch between X and Y. Like I explained in the last video, if you miss it, you can take a look at it. When you are plotting your graph or when you are dealing with geometry, we always write ordered pair as X, comma Y. You don't write Y, X because they are not the same. So don't switch between X and Y. When you are plotting your X, you plot X on the horizontal line. You look left or right for the X values, and you plot Y on the vertical line. You look up or down for the Y values. So see X as someone lying down and as someone sleeping, and then Y as someone standing. When you note this, you will not make mistakes again. And also, the next common mistake is that some students don't start from 0. So always start from the origin. When you are plotting your graph, always start from the origin. Starting somewhere else will lead to a mistake. And once you make a mistake from the beginning, you will get a wrong answer. Also, don't forget negative signs. Whenever you see negative sign, don't forget negative signs. So when we have negative X, that means you have to move to the left. And when you have negative Y, that means you are moving downwards. So make sure you take note of all this. Make sure you take note of all this. And then now that we are done, make sure you leave your answer in the comments. Don't forget to leave your answers in the comments, and I will explain if you made a mistake. And the summary is that coordinate plane shows location, like I explained in the first video. X-axis move from left, X-axis is on the left or the right side. You look to the left or to the right for X, And then you look up or down for y, and ordered pairs are written as x comma y, just as I explained here.